Wonderful people, this is really the best of all times to recreate, to reset self, to become authentic, to have fun, to claim your space in this huge universe as everything is moving straight, direct your connect back in. So that is what it essentially means. Yeah, why? So getting back into the highest level of creation and defining a new life for you could come true in the incoming months, as a lot has been reset on the planet, reset in consciousness, at least if you connect direct to the universes, to your source, whatever you deem appropriate, what you have learned. However, it is an important time to reconnect with self-discovery and reconnect with more or less the child within, the child that didn't lose its creativity, its wonder, and being amazed by the wonders of this huge universe, because the child always creates, recreates, invents, reinvents, looks up, and forgets about it. I mean, there's no intelligence or structure or anything involved. It just lets itself flow. And when we can let ourselves flow and just do whatever pops up in our heads in our free time, we become like a child. It is a great time here, especially from now on, uh, to flow with what goes. Go with the flow, or flow with what goes. So this is very important to understand, as we can tap into higher creational vibrations and reconnect with all the ancestors that are grounding on the planet, reconnecting with our authentic family, and so we can communicate on a higher level, telepathically speaking, actually. And reinventing or rediscovering self, or the true meaning of self, we need to allow it to happen. We need to allow ourselves to go out of that structure, these old thinking modalities, and allow self to live or vibrate actually on a higher frequency, and thus allowing self to create different things. It's a matter of inventing, what do you love to create with? Do you like to paint? Do you like to make pottery? Do you like sports? Would you like to make a movie? Are you an author? Do you like to write down stuff? Uh, would you like, are you as open as to do something you've never done before, like skydiving, or yeah, play football, soccer, whatever? Do something you never done before, and allow yourself just to let yourself go with that flow, without having that brain stopping you, having commands on it, having self-talk with it, like, if you're walking in the rain, walk with the rain. You know, you don't have to cover yourself up all of the time, because that is essentially what we do with our brain. We cover up too much, too many times, too much. And when you work in meditation, and you create all of the time, and you do know how to work with the creational ways, I mean, there shouldn't be any time stopping you. I have creations in my brains for the next incoming 100 years. I would know when to operate with them, on them, or change them. So I just do a few things one day at a time, and do the best I can to truly enjoy them, because enjoyment brings a higher level of intelligence and creation and ideas and so much more, changes consciousness, and brings through the option of self-discovery or recovering from the old traumatic circumstances into reinstalling a new self. So if we look at many things in the modern world, like loads of things are being imported actually in your city and exported from your city into another country or city. So, but the same, we could do the same exactly with our brains. We can start to export anything that stands in the way, such as lower vibrations and lower emotional content that never served us anyways, but that stand in the way of being, being in the wonder of life. If we look at the 10 wonders in the universe, the elements, the creations, the planets, the galaxies, and over here on this planet, how how we can work with the animals, how we can communicate with higher species, how we can absorb nutrients from the air that we breathe, from the water that circulates through us, around us, in the oceans, and so much more. There was so much wonder in it. I would love to learn about diving in very, very deep sea waters and discovering many species over there, actually. So there is so much to discover, and it's just a matter of allowance. And you could just, tell your brains, like, hey, you just breathe through, let's say, just a white or blue wave. I breathe through the blue wave and I command to completely export any attachment I may have to the old ways of myself that are no longer serving me. And you just breathe that through. I command myself to export, evaporate anything that no longer serves me, and you become very, very calm with the blue wave. For example, with this blue peace sign I have here, it's from an animal project. No, can you see this? Yeah. Uh, and that is, having the intention, the intuition, and the imagination to recreate self. Of everything is going direct, and we have many, many options opening up that were landed by the universes in this incoming week. We can do that, and the best way or the easiest way is to be really super calm, very peaceful. You can breathe through a blue light bulb, a blue peace sign around you. Make everything really midnight blue, so beautiful, so true. Become blue. It makes you very peaceful. And then you can start thinking in that particular space about what you would really truly like to experience, because becoming your childlike nature again is becoming one with the things you yearn to do, you long to do, but never did somehow. I never had a childhood. I educated myself. I left home at the age of, I was around 12 or 13, and so I had to take care of myself. So, and that is the same for many people out there, I think. So let me know if you had that kind of experience where you had a hard time growing up, moving in, um, yeah, your adolescence, and learning about being a human on the planet, essentially, because it's quite a learning zone, right? So yes, I would definitely suggest go in that space, and then allow like 12, 15, 20, or 30 different colors. Breathe different colors through and discover what color you're most in tune with, what you would like to absorb, like it's part of your survival, or you know, um, I would say it's part of a nutrient you so your yeah, that would feed you day and night, actually. That is when you know that is the way that puts you in the higher level of recreating, rediscovering the self, becoming a child, going to play, and spend at least 1 to 2 hours a day at play. And that should be a possible option when we offer ourselves that option. So it's all about the allowance, and bringing that back in to the body and the brain, allowing the brain to adjust to it. So, and spend like every day 5 to 10 minutes in exporting, what no longer serves you, such as traumatic circumstances, such as old habits, old cycles, old attachments, addictions, name it. That's a good way to do it if you want a very simplistic way. And then start importing. You could put the import app in your brain, allow that to install itself, and start to spin in your brain. What I see at this very moment when I speak about things, I'm a scientific encoder, genetic encoder. I encode people's consciousness, and I offer very quick healing from traumatic circumstances and any pattern, actually. So here I see like a pillar, a blue pillar of light, that color of blue, like this pillar in the middle here. I have two wolves holding peace over here. And so I see this blue pillar in my brain, and it has spokes uh, all around it. Like if you're climbing a tree, you climb on these spokes. And then I see in the middle of this pillar with these spokes, I have like a blue wheel, like a wheel of a bicycle, right? Just around that. And I breathe that in, and that blue wheel starts to spin, like it starts in a vertical way. And then when I breathe out, it starts to spin in diagonal fashion, all the way horizontal, all the way in the other side diagonal, all the way from bottom till top, and then it continues. It depends on your breath rate, so this is new for me as well. That is how we create on the spot. We allow information to just flow and flow and flow. So I open up my blue pillar in my brain. I allow it to spin with a spinning wheel with spokes on it. And I command it to spin out all the old attachments. This is a great way to start a new life because it's very potent. I will make a new design with this code to put on apparel as well, as I can see it very clearly now. And it's all a matter of removing the old chakra system, the old light body, the old ascension syndromes, and all that falseness in that sort of education as well. It's not only the outer world, the old, that is crumbling with all its falseness in manipulation and control. It's also the educational system, especially when it comes to light education, because there's so many missing links and so many information that downgrades our essence rather than uplifting it or assisting it to raise in vibration. So moving the old chakra system into the pillars of light is where you get the trill, the vibration of moving into the heart center and into your self-love. So for those willing to at least start to crystallize the chakra, I have this free meditation over here. You can do that. and then opening up into the pillar of light, for which I am making a design right now. So becoming as childlike as, you know, as I'm right here. I get this information, I just pull it out with no thought at all, because if we have thoughts about it, we oftentimes have a lot of critical talk about it, and that is no good if you want to step into recreating yourself, allowing that brain to letting go of that old framework and moving into a new framework. So yeah, just work with 10, 20, 30 colors, find your own color, and then move it with that blue way pillar and these spokes in your brain to detach. And then you ask your highest connection with your source, what is your greatest creative capability in which you can rediscover yourself, because essentially we discover ourselves through creation. I've seen this many times. As I'm an artist, a creator, a channel, I create and recreate, and I discover my capabilities through that medium. I just tried it and I never stopped it. So I've never been educated into it. So I just try out things as long as they are fun to me. So make sure you have fun, you have pleasure, you enjoy yourself with the blue way here, and let it flow. Just and come into terms with what is so beautiful for yourself, to become like a child, to play with children, to play cards, play soccer, go outside, play with nature, play with animals. There is so many opportunities, right? And redefine your childlike nature and ask your childlike nature what it truly wants, and just allow yourself to do that. Just do that. If it is planting 2,000 flowers, go and plant 2,000 flowers. I mean, it's about the fun, right? Even if it's in a park, even if you don't have a yard, don't think about it. It's all those thinking patterns that get in the way of really doing and being the beauty that you gentlemen and beautiful ladies are. So I hope this video was of help or inspiration to you. If you want, I have here a whole bunch of free meditations, about 4 meditations. If you want to download them, you can go on my YouTube channel. There is a link down there, and download them. They may be of help to release the sacral, to release the solar plexus, to have a sleep transformation, transcendental hypnosis to recreate your life, and also the free chakra alignment to opening up into the crystallization to the pillars of light, and a 5th one, which is the release of any and old fear. So you learn to work with a code, which is always fun to do for those willing to go all the way in there. If you suffer from laziness and not allowing yourself to do that, because the planet was born on laziness, I understand that very much. Although I'm overly creative, and that comes because of my past 20 years of work with the universes and all that consciousness that opens one creation upon the other and teaches and teaches. And it's also fascinating that you don't have time to get bored ever. So that is something I truly do when resetting that in individual sessions. So these are open as well if interested. And apart from that, I wish you a very, very great day and week. See you tomorrow, and let me know in the comments what your favorite color is and where you're from, because that's connected to a color as well, and that is very important because it influences you you know, because it's the outer forces in your particular country or city that is also embedded in your consciousness. So that would be interesting for me to know. Be your child, be the highest level of creation, and you will rediscover yourself like never before. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and offering that video to those in need. Thank you so much. I'm Charlotte Chi, logging out. Thank you.